So the Diddy tape came out with Daphne and Rico Strong, whoever the nigga was, in the thing, and I went to Twitter and I looked at it and all of that. So I want to talk about the angles of abuse and her whole thing with that, because a lot that came up for me with that particular thing. I'm not going to talk about it from just one angle. It's going to be like maybe 3 angles I'm going to talk about it from. So the tape came out. Now I really can't remember whether or not she testified against him or not. I don't know any of that. But I do know that after the tape came out, she said, oh shit, that she wasn't in her right mind. It was abuse, it was traumatic, and all of that. And she didn't consent to the recording. So the first angle I'm gonna go for, let's assume that she's telling the truth and what that looks like. I think a lot of times we feel like abuse victims look and behave all the same way. I remember it was a situation in my family. Somebody accused somebody of doing something freaky to him when they was a kid, and the family member was like, well, she wasn't acting like it. She wasn't acting scared and timid around him, so it couldn't have been true. Is that the only way that, did Tina act scared and timid around Ike every time we saw them together? Or did she act like everything was cool? It's not always like that. It's not always black and white how victims act. So she said that at the time of the video, she thought that was love. She's trying to do anything to please him. And I remember when Cassie said something like that. She said that, yeah, I did suggest freak offs, because he would always say, if you ain't gonna do it, another bitch will. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can get replaced. Like, this is what I like. If you ain't with it, you can get lost. Very similar to what R. Kelly used to say to his victims. I read the book Who's Watching Shorty with Rashona, whatever her name is. And he used to do a lot of stuff like that. So she would often volunteer, hey, I want to do the freak shit. I want to do the freak offs. I want to they would do that. And, in order to keep the man. So let's talk about that piece for a second. Is it ever all of these perfect people in the comments and maybe watching who just ain't never ever done anything that they regret to try to keep on to a relationship? Let me talk to y'all. So I guess that means y'all have never done anything like that. Y'all have never been so desperate to keep a man or keep a woman that you went against what you wanted to do in order to keep them. Just think about that for a second. I don't care what level it would have been. It could have been eating vegan when you didn't want to eat no damn strawberries and shit. It could have been having a threesome when you didn't want to have a threesome. It could have been moving to Alaska for their job when you didn't really want to do it. So have you ever done anything that you didn't really want to do to hold on to a man or woman? I have, and you have too. Shut up with the judgment. We're taking this piece by piece. That part alone, you should be able to have some empathy in the event that what she said is true. Okay? Now, I'm going to use Daphne, but I'm going to break off into generalizations because I'm going to give my opinion of her towards the end of the video. But, so yeah, we all have done that. It's been times where I thought certain things was love when it really wasn't. It's been times where I tolerated verbal abuse and emotional abuse when I wouldn't now, and I thought it was love and acceptable. It's been so many things that I used to do, thought was cool, now it ain't. I don't know what we could. When Cassie said it, I immediately understood what she meant. I wanted to keep him. I loved him. He constantly was talking about how I could be replaced. Hell yeah, I'm going to do whatever he said. I'm going to suggest it. I'm going to hustle for worthiness. I'm going to do shit I don't really want to do for real. A lot of y'all cooking and cleaning don't even want to fucking cook and clean because that nigga, you scared you're going to lose him. It ain't always got to be identical. That's what kills me about y'all. Scenarios ain't got to be identical for you to be able to find some empathy and understanding of where somebody's coming from. So another thing that she ended up saying was she didn't consent to the video being recorded. Now, it was like a 30-minute clip on Twitter. I ain't watch all that. I watched about a 2-minute one where Diddy walking around bad, built like Sasquatch and the Grinch. How the damn Sasquatch, the bad built, just looking like the Grinch, built terribly, and was real size. Just see him right here, real size. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, I saw that. I couldn't tell whether or not she knew the camera was on or not. A lot of people are saying she knew the camera was there. I got to look at that for myself. I probably should have done that before I did the video, but goddamn it, oh well. You know what I'm saying? We'll take it both angles. Let's say she didn't know the camera was there. If she didn't know the camera was there, and if she was blackmailed about it, that makes her a victim, no matter how much she was enjoying the sex. There's so many layers to it. So let's take number one. Let's say she didn't know the camera was there. And let's say that she was then blackmailed with the video. Whether she was enjoying it or not, because you can agree to some kink shit. Y'all have such a hard time of sympathizing with women who enjoy sex that it's hard to talk to y'all. So let's just say she agreed to do the video, enjoyed the sex, had a great time. That's a possible scenario. Maybe she did like all of it when it was happening. That's cool. That dick looked like it was big and I probably would have been enjoying it too. That's a scenario. She liked it when it was happening. Then she was recorded without her consent and blackmailed. Those two things make her a victim. Then it was posted online. There's 3 ways she was victimized there. But let's say, again, we're going to explore all angles. This is just one. We're going to get to all of them. If that happened, she's still a victim. But because she looked like she was enjoying the sex, y'all can't sympathize and empathize with her. Y'all can't empathize with any woman that looks like she's enjoying sex. Even if she was crying on there, you still would have found a way to make her bad because you saw some dick go in her pussy. That's how warped y'all's perception is of women and sex. And it goes back to around the Victorian age, where women who like sex were looked at as demonic, mentally unstable, untrustworthy witches. Y'all have that same dumbass ideology, which is why no matter what, y'all will never empathize or sympathize, have compassion for any woman who likes sex. So let's say that's scenario number 1. Let's say scenario number 2. She did see the camera. We all know that Diddy is abusive. We saw that already. Diddy's abusive, powerful. Maybe she did enjoy the actual actions of doing it. Maybe she did see the camera, but was too scared to be vocal about she didn't want to be recorded. That's an option too. Then you're blackmailed, then it's out there. You're still victimized that way. Let's say that she actually lied about not consenting. Let's say she did. She agreed to have it on camera and all of that. That's also a possibility. She could have absolutely agreed for it to be there, and she lied in her statement to try to save face. Well, it should be understandable why she would lie to save face, because y'all are judgmental and evil and awful towards women when it comes down to their sexuality. Just like we should all understand why Megan lied and said she ain't fucked Tory. Who the fuck want to admit that she fucked a little short, ugly nigga with fucked up fingernails and nubs and fucked up hairline and shit? Who want to admit that? I don't want to admit that either. So and I ask you this, for those of you self-righteous people, how about she should have told the truth? So you don't lie when you're embarrassed about something? So when the heat is on you, you don't lie? You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied to nobody when you scared of the consequences of the truth. You ain't never tried to save face even a little bit in a situation. If you're telling me you've never been in that situation, you're lying. And guess what? You're not on a platform with billions of people watching you. So I don't know how you can't empathize or why somebody would want to lie. Self-preservation, and she's scared. So she could have very well said, yes, record me. But I don't know. But if she was, and everybody has said that Diddy would blackmail you with tapes and shit. So let's say she wanted to do the freak off. She said yes to being recorded. She did not consent to being blackmailed and for it to be out. Still a victim. It's still a victim. To all the men out there with all them freaky fetishes, some of y'all like to dress up like adult babies. Some of y'all like to be pegged. Some of y'all like your ass ate. Some of y'all like sexual things that are just not gonna be very acceptable to the masses. You vilify for that. What if you entrusted somebody with that video and they blackmailed you and or posted it? Would you be a victim? Yes, you would. But you can't see that because you don't sympathize and empathize with women who look like they enjoy sex. You don't empathize with women at all. Y'all have a deep issue with women because of the Bible and the Eve and the fruit and all that dumbass story where y'all vilified the women when Adam was the dumb bitch who did it anyway when God said no. Y'all are just so stupid. Patriarchy says when men are going to be right and don't trust women because y'all are dumb and don't do any critical thinking, but I'm here to do the critical thinking for you. So those are the 3 scenarios that we've covered with that. I don't think no one consents to blackmail. That would kind of defeat the purpose. You can't really consent to, I want to be blackmailed. No. Now, if she went and took the sex tape and negotiated a deal with Vivid Entertainment and released it, then there's no victimhood there. She wanted it out and she wanted to get paid, which I think is a smart thing. So she can like it, agree to it, and all of that. Now, let's bring this home. She can like it, agree to filming, but she can also have a change of heart years later. So if you say, well, let's talk to you. Have you ever agreed and consented to something that years later you realize was really not a good idea and you really regret that shit? I'm sure you have. Now, that alone doesn't necessarily make you a victim, but it does make you human. So if I decide I want to try anal, I want to do something, and then years later, I'm like, oh my God, I definitely should have done that. That doesn't necessarily make me a victim because I did consent at the time and I've gotten older and wiser and decided now I shouldn't have done it. Doesn't make me a victim, but it does make me human because I bet you watching this, you have been in a scenario where you thought something was cool and shit and then it wasn't. And you have some regrets about it. We all have situations like that. So I don't really understand why we are so I do understand why we're unsympathetic, because it's a woman involved. Because it's a woman involved. That's why. And y'all think women are asexual, and y'all don't like any woman that likes sex and enjoys different fetishes and kinks and wants it to be recorded, and all of that. But y'all patronize those kind of women all the time, because that's why porn is so huge. That's also why phone sex operators and sex workers make money. Y'all love the sexually freak woman, but can't control her, so therefore you hate her. So it's a very deep thing. You know what I'm saying? Then I said on Instagram, all of these men, oh my God, if I was Daphne's husband, I was just the husband, our kids, I would be so embarrassed. Diddy need to be embarrassed for being built like that and having a little ass dick. You need to be embarrassed. I'm saying it because Diddy, I wouldn't be talking about your dick size. There ain't nothing that any man can help. But I will say, because of who you are, I feel like I can say what I'm going to say about you. You should be embarrassed being built like that. There's nothing embarrassing about a woman getting some good sex and enjoying it. Why is that embarrassing? Why do y'all think sex is private when everybody who had a baby got some dick? It's not sex is not, it can't be private. It's not a private matter. It's not a big deal. You know everybody having sex, but once you see it, they lose endorsements. They cancel. That is so dumb. Now, if a video came out of you killing somebody, yeah, get canceled. Because, killing people is bad and wrong. But exchanging orgasm, it should be positive and celebrated at all ways that it happens. But y'all are too stupid to see that, because religion and patriarchy got y'all dumb. You know what I'm saying? Also, let's talk about how she was, let's just say, another possible angle is she didn't really want to do it, but she did it. She didn't really like it, but she pretended like she did in the video. Y'all are saying it's impossible for her to be a victim and claim she didn't like it because of the performance. How many orgasms have y'all faked in y'all's lifetime? Women. I know I faked many of them. I got the whole goddamn thing. The shaking, the cross-eyed. Oh, Lord. Oh, the whole thing, I got it down. All of it. Man, the easiest fuck the fool. Porn stars mainly be faking that shit. Every woman on earth has faked an orgasm, has acted like the shit better than it is, adding on shit to it when it ain't that good. So she can't do it. She can't do it. And she has a lot more inspiration. You faking orgasms and doing sex tapes and doing shit you don't want to do for some broke ass nigga that's sleeping on an air mattress and shit. Imagine the things you would do to maintain a relationship if your boundaries are shaking, your self-esteem ain't really that good for somebody with that kind of power and control. It's like y'all don't even try to think critically on how one could get in a situation like this. Y'all are just on this moral high ground, and your mattress you fucking a nigga on ain't even on high ground. It's like y'all do way more for niggas with way less, but can't understand why a woman would get herself in some wild ass shit for somebody like Diddy, who's known to be violent and can ruin your career and all of that. Like, how can we not empathize with that? Now, let's get back into that and into her. Now she online, making a little OnlyFans. I really do hope she's capitalizing off of this and making OnlyFans, sent to that sex tape out. I haven't looked at her page, but I hope she has OnlyFans now, if she didn't have one before. Because she crazy as hell not to do it. Because no matter what she says, y'all gonna say what y'all say. So playing the cry, her going on Instagram and crying and acting sad and all that is really not gonna help anything in the view of public opinion. But what will help her bank account is monetizing it. So she's making little videos about the size matter and does she like being washed and acting like. So she is not trying to persuade y'all that she was a victim in this. But probably because she understands that nothing will actually make y'all believe it. So if I'm her, either I lied about the whole thing, I'm not trying to say, either she was one of them who agreed to all of it, was cool with all of it. Maybe she did negotiate the sex tape coming out. I have no idea. But she is not presenting herself as a sympathetic victim. I was beat, I was raped. She's not doing that. She could not be doing that because that's not her truth. Maybe she did. Maybe she did like all that shit. Liked all that shit. She got blackmailed, it got posted, and she tried the sympathetic route. That didn't work. Fuck it. We're going to make some money. I'm going to lean into it. Because nothing that I'm going to do is going to convince y'all to give a fuck about anything. Y'all are going to say I'm not a victim. So I'm going to be not a victim for real and capitalize off this. My OnlyFans is in the link in bio, bitch. I'm kind of with it. Because crying and acting and crying and oh my God and all that, even if it is actually how she feels, it's not going to get her the bag. Fuck that. Get your money, girl. So now, with that being said, I do feel like her behavior doesn't help Diddy's other victims. It doesn't help people feel like Cassie and other women were victimized. Because people already feel like Cassie wasn't a victim, even though if you listen, it's all easy to understand how one could be a victim. And it's a such thing as agreeing to something and then not wanting to agree no more. I said free out school, but now I want to stop, and now you're beating my ass. That happens as well. It's not this black and white thing. I can start off saying yes, and then it yes turns into a no, and then it's a problem, and then that's the problem. She doesn't help the general viewership of women in this situation with Diddy. She does not help the plight. She does not. Now, that's what she don't do. She definitely don't help the cause. She don't at all. Now they're going to be thinking that the other victims are like her and nobody was victimized and Diddy didn't do nothing wrong, which I don't see how you can feel like Diddy didn't do nothing wrong when you saw Cassie's bruises on her face and her getting beat up. And to think that that wasn't mixed into the sexual shit, you're stupid and you're dumb. But she's not helping the cause. She's not. But I will say that it's all kind of ways that this could go. One more thing I will say about Diddy, real quick. I have to look more into the Diddy thing, but Diddy may be more of a stag than a cuckold. A cuckold is a very submissive man, little dick, when he does fit that. Submissive man, little dick, likes to be humiliated while his woman has other men. A stag is very much in control. He want to watch. He's not taking a submissive role. He just gets turned on by his woman getting pleased by other men. Very dominant. He can dictate it, be an active participant and all of that. But he doesn't want to be. He's not gonna be humiliated. He's not gonna be talked too crazy. None of that's gonna happen on his watch. That's not what he's into. What gets him off is watching his woman with other men, which is a beautiful fetish to have. Speaking of that, he is a stag. That's how I know the difference. He's a stag. He wasn't a cuckold. It wasn't gonna be you have a little dick, and of course I know all of this because I'm a phone sex operator. You know what I'm saying? Still do train women to get money on the phone, so I know the differences. And so he has his fetishes. That's fine. Nope. And if I hear one more time that Diddy's is in jail for some fetishes, that's stupid. It's other shit that got Diddy in jail. But anyway, so tell me what y'all think about this. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion or not on whether I think she is a victim or not. I think it could go all kind of ways. I don't automatically believe somebody because they're a woman. I don't automatically believe somebody because they're a man. It literally is a case by case situation. I look at the facts and say, yeah, okay, I believe Cassie was definitely a victim. But victimhood is not always the same. A victim is not always rape, and that's it. No, if Daphne was blackmailed with that tape, she's a victim. That's all I need. I don't care how much she enjoyed it. I don't care how often she did it. If she was blackmailed with that tape, she's a victim. If it was released without her, if it was released without her consent, she's a victim. But y'all think she deserves that because she shouldn't have done it in the first place. Because y'all don't think women should exploit sexuality. Y'all don't think she should be a part of anything like that. Y'all don't think that women should get an orgasm. Y'all don't think women should have the right to any type of pleasure. And if she does, she's bad and deserves whatever comes with it. That's y'all's problem. And I already explained the history behind that. Y'all, so let me know what y'all think about this and buy my book. Peace.